Today we're in Portugal at the Portimao Track. Many drivers refer to this track as the Rollercoaster. Soon you'll understand why. The drivers are unanimous in their praise for the track, which they find very challenging and fun with its climbs and drops and many blind corners. The circuit has two very long straights in the first sector, where good top speed is vital, while the second sector is very different, being more twisty. It is in fact in this sector that one finds many of the changes of gradient where a driver must rely on instinct and have total confidence in his car. The final part features medium high-speed corners, especially the last one which leads on to the start-finish straight. Having a driving simulator which is able to reproduce all different movements, including high vertical displacements, is very important to have a realistic driving experience. Let's have a drive with a VI grade cable-driven DiM400 driving simulator and let's see how it performs. At the end of the pit lane straight, approaching the first turn, the driver experiences high compression while heavily braking. Large platform movements help the driver to execute a sudden braking pedal push and a gentle release, taking advantage of the aerodynamics of the car and the vertical curvature of the road. Turn 4 is blind and goes slightly uphill and the car loses grip due to the road convexity. The hexalift moves largely downwards, giving a realistic feeling of the reduced tyre forces. The speed is rapidly increasing in this turn and this makes it difficult to control the car. Once again, the planar motion of the platform accurately matching the real vehicle, coordinated with the motion of the hexlift, gives a totally natural feeling of complex dynamics which the vehicle undergoes. We are now at turn 5, called Torre VIP. Here the yaw movement of the disc frame is essential to correctly execute the slow hairpin, helping to move correctly to the apex and progressively accelerate in the turn exit. We now have a sequence of 3 curves. These 3 turns must be done in sequence, having a unique trajectory in mind. Turn 6 is a blind left convex corner. Turn 7's exit goes uphill and the driver is subjected to a strong compression, during which it is essential to apply the best brake action to negotiate the apex of turn 8. At the turn exit, the car almost completely loses ground contact. The combination of uncoupled X, Y, yaw, pitch and Z movements of the DiM400 are extremely important to be able to drive the vehicle at the limit in the sequence of turns. The 4 following turns are also very challenging. The trajectory feedback to the driver is dominated by the platform motion rather than the graphics. This happens when the track goes uphill and the view is pointing to the sky, but also when going down in the compression, trying to take advantage of the extra inertia force, which adds up to the already high aerodynamic force. Delivering the right movements is fundamental for the control of the vehicle, and this is what the DiM400 simply does. These 2 turns are downhill, and once again the large vertical movement of the hex lift is very important to give the driver the feeling of compression. This turn is run full throttle in an F1 car, and the hex lift moves up to give the feeling of compression, while the disc frame is pulling to the right. The active seat gives the feeling of persistent lateral acceleration. Driving in Portimao with the DiM400 simulator with a properly tuned F1 model helps the driver to understand how setup changes allow them to push to the limit of performance. The Portimao track is characterized by large elevation changes which often hide the apex of the turns, thus forcing the driver to feel the track with his vestibular and somatosensory perception more than trust the visual. The DiM400 is an extraordinary machine for that, due to the high vertical travel of the hexalift. The whole spatial motion envelope contributes to feel the vehicle dynamics in perfect harmony with the road planar and vertical profiles.